Namaskar and very good morning, everyone. Are you able to hear me? Institute, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome one and all joined with us today morning on the special occasion of International Women's Day 2024. This is a day which recognizes the remarkable accomplishments and contributions of women to society, and this also highlights the ongoing challenges and obstacles which women is facing day to day for achieving equality and justice. Today, we gather with a shared purpose to inspire inclusion to strive towards enhancing Nari Shakti, visioned by our Honorable Prime Minister. Let's embrace it through this webinar on the theme Inspire Inclusion of Women in Viksit Bharat, Challenge Stereotypes, Discrimination and Beyond. We are extremely delighted to have wonderful guests among us. We are privileged to have with us Honorable Chief Guest CMA Harjeet Kaur Joshi Madam, role model of the profession, former chairperson and managing director and director of finance, Shipping Corporation of India Limited. We have with us Honorable President of the Institute, CMA Ashwin Ji Dalwadi Ji, Secretary of the Institute, Dr. CMA Kaushik Banerjee Ji, and we have very esteemed speakers also, those who will talk on this topic. Ms. Neeta Mathur, she is HR coach and principal consultant, People Solutions Inc. We have another speaker, Ms. Sara A. Tomar, mental freedom coach and director for Sighteders Network and Marketing Private Limited. Thank you all for being part of this momentous day. I strongly believe that women are born unempowered with a uniqueness of multitasking, managing all fronts of life. Over the years, our history has witnessed that women have made significant contribution to the development of India. Today, women continue to excel and take on active roles in diverse areas such as politics, business, science, technology, be it sports and arts. This is a breaking barriers and driving positive change in society. I strongly believe that every woman has the power to challenge these stereotypes and dismantle the barriers that hinder the progress towards a truly inclusive society, which is very important for us because a learned woman can make learning to the society. So women have proven time and again that they are capable of achieving greatness and have done so with grace, resilience, and determination. In our journey towards inclusion, together we have the power to defy all these limitations and forge a path towards equity and understanding. So with these little opening words, I would take forward this webinar. Our president of the institute is going to join with us shortly. So in his absence, we would be taking the session forward. So I would be requesting Madam Neeta Mathur to please talk on her subject. She would be talking on understanding inclusivity, building confidence and resilience. So I would request Neeta Mathur, Madam, to please proceed with her deliberation. And in the meantime, our president would also join with us during the session.
Thank you so much, Nisha ji. Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, perfectly fine, ma'am.
Yeah, I think there is some issue with the camera. It comes on and off again and again. I'm trying.
No worries.
Yeah.
I think it will be sorted soon. Yeah,
Okay.
Miss Neeta Mathur is a multifaceted professional certified coach and practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming with a specialization in human resources. And in addition to her core HR roles, she is deeply committed to fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion. within the organization. She conducts D&I sessions to promote a culture of belonging and respect. She's dedication uh, to this is highly commendable. Her dedication to cultivating safe and respectful workplaces extends beyond her corporate engagements. As a certified POSH educator, she is actively advocates for workplace safety and inclusivity. And she is pursuing her PhD, focusing on diversity and inclusion. Her role as a certified image consultant and coach underscores her holistic approach to personal and professional development. Over to Neeta Martin.
Thank you so much, Nishaji. A very good morning to everybody. And I would say again, my congratulations and best wishes for this International Women Day, which we are celebrating today. So this is a wonderful forum where we see a lot of, again, diversity. I can see people joining in from different locations, if I'm not mistaken, Delhi, Kolkata and all. So, and I'm based out of Noida and I'm talking from Noida. So when we try and understand the spirit of inclusion, we need to understand it all starts with diversity. Now, when we talk of diversity, a lot of studies have been done, whereas this diversity term, what exactly it means, what is the essence of this being diverse is all about. See, the fact is that when we look at each other as human beings, we are very different. It's not just the gender. Even within the same gender, you'll find so many differences. I mean, where are we coming from? What is our background? It could be our religion, it could be our region, it could be our ethnicity, it could be our educational background, it could be our culture. So we are diverse at various, I would say, facets. And we are broadly now talking about gender because today being the Women's Day. So when we understand this diversity and accept the diversity, I mean, if you must be aware of that there are so many laws which are being modified or I would say changed to include a lot of everybody in it. You know, the gamut was only male and female under the citizenship of the country. So now we are trying to include everybody as far as the gender is concerned. So when we talk of this diversity, once we understand and start appreciating the diversity, so then this essence or the meaning, the real meaning of inclusion can be understood. Now, as a simple word in English, it is inclusion means that something which kind of, you include everybody. It's as simple as that. Now, when we say including everybody, that means it's not that easy because the next session is going to be about stereotyping, that is biases. So until and unless we demolish those biases, we actually cannot include people around us. So if I can explain it in a very simple kind of example, let's say try and understand, being a spring season, February, I mean, a lot of gardens are blooming all around. So I'm sure everybody would have visited one or, they must be having lawns or they must have visited some gardens. So you see a variety of plants out there. There are trees, there are, bushes, there are shrubs, there are creepers, bale jo chadti hai. So now everybody is like enjoying the full garden. When we walk into a garden, we kind of accept it as a whole. Now that is the beauty of the garden. Just imagine if we just have trees, nothing else. So it becomes a forest, not a garden anymore. So when we talk of this garden, you will see that, each of the plants are different, diversity. When we talk of trees, they are there standing solid, strong. When we talk of shrubs, they need some kind of, different sort of caring. When we talk of creepers, let's say money plant or anything, they would need a certain kind of rope or a strong, support to let them flourish. So each plant requires a different kind of nurturing from the gardener. Otherwise, the garden will not be as beautiful as it should be. It will just become a rose garden, for example. A rose garden is just a rose garden. It's a seasonal kind of place where roses bloom and that's it. It's over and done with. But when we talk of a garden, which is a tourist attraction, it is maintained throughout the year. And the gardeners know what kind of plant requires what kind of nourishment, whether it requires more sunlight, whether it requires more water, whether it will flourish in a shade kind of thing. रस्सी बांधनी है, net बनाना है, green का कपड़ा सा लगाना है. So all those things are required. So this is what we understand by inclusion. that we have understood the diversity around each of those components which are making a beautiful garden. We are supporting them as per their requirement. So very, I would say, a term which is used along with diversity and inclusion is equity. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. So that's a process. To have a final kind of outcome which is beautiful, we need to follow this process. Otherwise, just saying the word inclusion will not be, just happening over the few days or few nights. It has to be worked upon. So when we started talking about diversity way back, we kind of, understood. Should I continue? Yeah. So when we are talking about diversity, we understood that we require people around us and who are from different backgrounds, and they need to be included. Now, included again, it's not just a term. I'm sure all of you, while growing up, must have gone through that process of kutti and abba or whatever terminology you used. When you were fighting with your friends, you used to say, okay, ab kutti. Now, what is that kutti all about? Kutti is basically nothing else but saying that, okay, we are excluding you from our group. That was a torture. That used to be a mental torture for the person who used to be excluded from that team of group of friends or something. So this is exactly what, as human beings, do not realize that when we are not including people, a human being, by appreciating whatever differences the person is bringing into the team or the group or the organization, we are actually in excluding the person. So it is again something which is of that same feeling which you must have felt during that childhood kind of games, that you feel excluded. But then that used to be very obvious sort of thing. But in our daily lives, when we are doing that, at our workplaces, in organizations, that becomes a major challenge out there to face it. Now, this inclusion, to why are we harping on it? Why is it that the UN has made it their theme for this particular year? Because a lot of research has gone into it. The facts, the numbers, they all speak for themselves when we say that these practices of diversity management and inclusion have actually resulted in a lot of increase in the productivity. In fact, they say with inclusion, the inclusive organizations are 1.7 times more innovative as compared to those organizations which do not focus on inclusion at all. So there's nothing to lose per se. Inclusion, we can all practice. It is actually a craft. CRAFT. It's as simple as that. Any skill which we want to hone, anything which we want to be an expert on, we just need to practice that particular thing. And as I said, it is a craft. C for caring. That is, we need to care the people around us. So when we say people, I assume that the diversity has already been managed. Now, what happens is, I'm quoting Verna Myers. Now, Verna Myers is one of the pioneers who started this movement in the Western world. So she said that it is, this whole process of diversity and inclusion is something like inviting a person for a dance party, but then not giving him the floor to dance on. So now, if you can imagine any relative's wedding or any wedding for that matter, there is a DJ playing and you are invited. So you are kind of there, but and you want to dance because the music is so peppy, but then the floor is full of the closest family members and you're just standing on the corner, not feeling included in the process. Now, this is what exactly it is, that one should not be invited. I mean, there should be such an environment or culture that people feel like dancing wherever they are in that particular party. That is actually the true inclusion bit. That the culture of the place is made so conducive. Yeah, it is that you have that confidence that your ideas, your mistakes, your unique identity, whichever it is, will not be judged or evaluated, but it is most kind of, welcomed to kind of be a part of the whole party which is going on, which is your everyday working in that scenario. So this requires understanding and appreciating the differences, the stereotypes. I will not be elaborating on that because that is what I think Sarah ma'am is going to be elaborating on. So when I say craft, it is an acronym which I have created. And simply put, it is something which we can actually do on our daily interactions. Stands for care. R stands for respect. A stands for allyship. F stands for your, fairness, and T stands for your trust. So when we are caring for each other, simple, just caring means empathy. So as a women, we definitely need to understand and empathize with other women in the workplaces. A lot of time we are having team members or people we are reporting to are women these days. So to progress for a, I would say, flourishing country or a flourishing organization, we need to first start from our own self, that how inclusive are being, because when we talk of equality as women, now it's almost 131 years, I would say, since the time this Women's Day have started off. And we still say that we are fighting for our rights. Why are we fighting? The laws are meant for citizens, be it male or be it female, and or other genders. So when it is equal for everybody, we just need to go and take it. Whatever is ours, we deserve it. But still we are always in that fighting mode, because we need to understand that it is there for us to take it. And if we start caring for each other and on a daily basis, just think about the other person, the background, the differences, why the person is behaving in that manner. What is it that it is bothering him or her? I'm saying him as well. So we have to have that care for the other human being. We have to have respect. Please, we need to respect whatever it is. I mean, cannot just go about, and that also requires, be it whatever age, be it whatever designation, but the respect becomes most important component when we are dealing with a human being. The next is allyship. Allyship is almost similar to your friendship, I would say. But yes, friendship, we do it amongst, our equals, or what we consider as our, somebody we are connected with. But then allyship is something you go forward and do it in a deliberate manner to a person whom you think is, wherever or whatever way, is in minority in that group. So you provide your support along with your openness. That is what allyship is all about. And then I said craft AF, fairness. Be fair. So, I mean, yes, I get a lot of challenging questions, that what if we are managing diversity, we are forced to pick up women, even if they are not so talented. What do we do? Because we have numbers to kind of match. Now, that is something is not being fair. Again, you have to get back to that care part. You have to fall back on equity. What is it? What is the background of the person? Do we really need to just give a chance to people out there and they might show the results? You should not be compromising for sure, but then you have to be fair. And then we lastly talk about trust. It is a simple human emotion. If you delegate something, you have to trust that the person will be performing, or you have to kind of take that into cognizance that each one of us is striving for winning the trust of the other person. So this craft, if we put it in practice on our daily basis, this inclusion bit becomes a skill which everybody can actually adopt, right? And more we practice this craft of caring, of respecting, of having an allyship, of being fair to people and trusting each other, I think then we need to not just celebrate Women's Day per se, or I should say we should be celebrating Humans Day per se, because this is all, inclusion is all about humans, from one human to another human. And as far as women is concerned, we should be breaking those stereotypes that behind every successful man, there is a woman. I mean, women is successful. Why should she be behind a man? They are there walking together, being successful together. Women are great multitaskers. Now, again, this is a stereotype, I think, which the next speaker will be taking over. But then these are the things which we need to challenge, so that we do not say kutti to other people, and we are more inclusive and do not exclude the other people. So with that day, with this kind of thought process, I think any questions or anything which are there or which we would like to discuss, I can pass on the baton to the next speaker. Thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to share my thoughts on inclusion and simple steps of craft, which we can actually incorporate in our daily lives to include more people, be it women, be it people from other genders, and we can definitely have more inclusive workplaces and make an organization more productive and a Viksit Bharat. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you, Neetaji. It was really a wonderful way of explaining, nice perspective, and you have nicely, beautifully explained the process of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And beautifully, you have given this care and craft way of remembering what is inclusion all about. Yes, of course, inclusion of human beings is important. So we would be celebrating Humans Day soon. So thank you for this. Now we have next speaker with us, Miss Sarah A. Tomar. She's a mental freedom and coach um, and a director of Farsightedness Network and Marketing Private Limited. So she is going to give her perspective on challenging stereotypes and addressing the discrimination and inspiring this change. So I would request Sarah Madam to please take over and deliberate on this given topic. She is director of this company, Farsighters Network and Communications, which provides consulting services to startups, MSMEs, and those who want to be entrepreneurs. And they are having the social initiative of Evoke as an organization which offers training and mentoring support, especially for women-based startups. Also working on corporate strategy, program management, research and development projects, policy advocacy, and with esteemed organizations. She practices as a coach, providing one-to-one coaching as well as group coachings to help people maximize their potential. Thank you, ma'am. Over to Sarah.
Thank you so much, Ms. Divan, for a wonderful introduction. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, perfectly fine.
I'm also visible. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful. Yeah. So first of all, let me start with the gratitude to Ms. Nisha Devan for inviting me, giving me this opportunity to speak to you on this wonderful, magnificent day where we celebrate womanhood. And also Miss Nidhi for connecting with me and sharing about this event. I'm very thankful to CME Institute also for inviting me. Talking about my topic, which is challenging stereotypes and addressing discrimination and inspiring change. So that's if I can, I mean, what do we understand with this? What do I understand with this is that how do women feel inspired to work without guilt? If I can say that, women are more competitive than men, or as competitive as men, whatever we want to choose, whatever it is that we accept in the form. The point is that unless we really create a system for women to work guilt free, we cannot expect any kind of change. And women having women as pillar for Viksit Bharat actually suggests that there is so less that we have done. I hope you agree. Why women are also a pillar like other four, 3-4 pillars of Viksit Bharat? Because we as a society accept that there is a lot that we need to do for women, that they have been looked down upon or they have been ignored. Otherwise, we would not be there as a pillar. And I have a small presentation. If I just let me know if you can see it. Okay, I don't know. I mean, there's some technical challenge since it's I'm a little confused. It says include sound window. I'll let that pass. Let me just speak without showing you anything. I had some bullet points which I feel that when we speak about stereotyping women comes in many forms. It comes in the taunts, it comes in the jargons, it comes in various comments. Miss Mathur also mentioned, I think, time and again, like women are bossy, or when women are you very ambitious? So many things that we say, we do, but I feel that we are not tackling resources, we are not tackling anything per se. What we really are tackling is a mindset that starts from home to a lane, to a society, to a village, and it becomes the flavor of the country as a whole. So, and that is what I think we are trying to work on. So each home, I think one home at a time. From a time where there was a difference between a son and a daughter, where daughters were not as educated as sons, we have moved towards a time where daughters and sons are equal. But if I can be very, very honest and straight, there is still time where we will see a daughter son and a daughter-in-law equally. So we are looking at a society where daughter-in-laws are given as much support as it is given to the sons and daughters of the home. And when we do that, we don't need to really take care of each daughter. If you take care of your daughter-in-law, I think that is a huge impact that you will make. Each daughter will automatically be taken care of. So that is what I think we are also, no matter how broad minded we say we are, and I'm really sorry if don't take any offense if you are on the other side of the table, but what we really need to understand is when we say every mother wants their daughter should work as much as she wants and wherever she wants. When it comes to daughter-in-law, you become conservative. You never say to your daughter that we take care of your children, but I think our daughter-in-law hears it again and again that we take care of your children. So what we are looking at is creating a society where a woman can go for work guilt-free. She doesn't have to take that guilt that I am leaving my family behind. So there's a lot that needs to be done. And I'll just begin with first thing. I think first thing that we should do is breaking the occupational stereotype. Okay, so when we say occupational stereotype, there are again, there are gender roles, and we need to make more efforts to break those, traditional gender roles. And we have seen women are the best cooks in the world, right? But more chefs are men. Why? Because of workplace security, because of the timing of the profession. Similarly, if you see pilots, you'll find more males as pilots and less females. But when you will see flight attendants, you'll find more flight attendants to be women and less to be men. Why? Because there's a traditional gender role in technical fields, technical spaces, places where there is safety is concerned. We still feel that women should not opt for them. Why? Because we have to create that system. We have to create a society where in every role she feels empowered, in every role she feels safe. Okay. Then how can, again, you can break occupational stereotypes. Second is highlighting women. I think one thing that we can do is highlighting women's achievement in traditionally male dominated fields. So wherever you feel that, engineering is concerned, manufacturing is concerned, we'll see very less examples of women. So we need to highlight those women who have already achieved something in those fields. Then what we need to do is obviously we need to create policies and initiatives that support women's entry in diverse professions. Okay, so we are still reluctant in certain fields and we feel that women, it's not either safe for women or maybe she doesn't have that physical capacity. Ye aurat ka kaam nahi hai, ye aadmi ka kaam hai. We have to come out of that eventually, to break the occupational stereotypes. And then comes second thing, which is very important, is equal education opportunity. So now people like me and you, we are blessed to be born in families where we could study as much as we want, However, there is again a strata of the society where, women's education or girls' education is not seen as a priority for the family. So there should be more initiatives, I feel, where more initiatives should be taken for increasing female enrollment in STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics field, which is improving. It is no doubt this, but then there is again, you'll see if you go towards the society where you feel that people cannot afford education, or so they will want their sons to become engineers, doctors, but not their daughters. And then obviously impact of education on challenging gender stereotypes, it comes with education. So the more technical education, the more education that is a choice. Like if I want to become, let's say I want to choose aeronautics, my parents will not stop, but I know 10 women at least within the place where I live, that their parents will stop saying that it's not supposed to be for women. So we have to make special provision for technical education of girls, especially, so that then that will also impact the stereotypes in the occupation once they'll have that kind of education. And again, I'll say that it is system. Then third point that I'll like to raise is empowering women in leadership, and it is very, very important. Showcasing right examples of successful women across industries. It's not just the textile or the food or the examples that you see. We need to showcase examples in manufacturing, in engineering, in aerospace. So many things that we do want our daughters to adopt in future, but then we do not have right kind of examples to give them for the same. And here I would also like to mention another point is when women in leadership will pave the way for other women also, which is what I feel. Also, I mean, again, I'll say that we are trying to find, better a mindset here also. And here I'll give you a very, 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 very personal example as a reference point. When I had my first daughter, I was denied a promotion. Okay, and why I was denied a promotion? Because my boss was a female. I would like to mention that I had a female boss who did not give me promotion because she felt that now I will be taking maternity leave, I will be going home on time, and that will impact the level of work. She totally forgot the fact that throughout my pregnancy, I worked till 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And till 1 week before my delivery, I was in my office, and that was totally ignored. Now, I don't hold any grudge against her at all today because it is a conditioned mind. You can't do anything about conditioning. It is conditioning that says that once a woman becomes a mother, she needs to give more time to her family, and she may not be as productive. So it's a mindset, it's conditioning. So she's not to be blamed. But what if she also had right examples where people didn't do it? Maybe somebody did this to her, or she would have seen in her environment. So if she had right examples, she would not have done that to me. So again, I'll say that it is conditioning, and I mean, the more women will have in leadership roles, we will have probably an environment where they also empower other women. They do not see them as less than men or less competitive, whatever it is. Okay. Then fostering policies again for women representation in decision making position. I think it is of very, very is very important at large that we really create policies where women are represented in decision making positions, and it is not something that should be given. I feel it is their right. Because of various personal reasons, they may not continue their work. They may have taken a break. We have to really create an environment where this all is acceptable. Okay. And then fourth point that I would like to mention is addressing cultural stereotypes. So cultural stereotype, I think in beginning itself, I gave you an example where we really need to empower daughter-in-laws. We still feel that, okay, if it is a daughter-in-law, she needs to balance. Okay, she has to take care of parents, she has to take care of, this is just one example. There are many examples. There are communities where they don't even allow a girl to get enough education. Once she learns a simple mathematics, local language, they say, okay, it's enough for her, now she can get married. So there are a lot of cultural stereotypes. And how can we address cultural stereotypes? By analyzing what kind of roles and opportunities are being limited. Like, where are you limiting a woman in her role and the opportunities that she can explore? So one, you have to analyze, and once you'll analyze, you'll have your answers. Then you can work on campaigns, you can create initiatives challenging these stereotypes. Now, I'll also like to emphasize here that in cultural stereotypes, there is a huge role of media, art, and cinema that we see. How do you depict a woman's role? Do you show, show her as, balancing her work and family together? Or if you will see, certain type of shows and all, a working woman is always shown in a negative light, wherein a homemaker is always shown in a very positive light, and so we really need to understand that such kind of cinema also impacts people. So we need to show things that we really want to see in our future, and not, like regressive things that are things of past. Okay. Now, fifth point I feel that is very important and we must do is fighting discrimination in digital space. Like more and more women are picking on social media, especially those who are running small businesses using social media. There is a gender-based discrimination and a lot of cases of harassment. I don't want to quote the numbers here, but I would like to mention, bullying, cyberbullying, scams, so many things happen with these women. And trust me when I say this, that a lot of times police even doesn't take their FIRs. Okay, or they will write the FIR, they'll not take any action, they'll not take it seriously. It's still not taken seriously. You are offending a woman online publicly, but it's not taken seriously. So we need to work on that. We have to emphasize the importance of creating safer and inclusive digital environment. Okay, now sixth point comes as supporting work-life balance. And when we say supporting work-life balance, again, it is a lot of things. One is highlighting policies and practices that support work-life balance for women. If you take a career break, then you should be given, maybe an opportunity. Again, a lot of women, I think, face this when they take a career break, when they rejoin work, their salaries would be, half of what others are getting. Why? Because she is showing a break. That should not happen. There should be a plan for her, or I would rather say, maybe let her continue, do some programs and then rejoin, make a competitive test or something. But creating that is very important, because half of the women do not join workforce again because they know that they were getting, let's say, 10 lakhs before a career break. Now they're getting hardly 4 lakh, 5 lakhs, and they feel that it's not worth their time. Obviously, you leave behind your kids, you leave behind your family, and then if you're not getting enough remuneration, you would rather sit at home. So many women do not choose to work again because, they are not paid fairly. Awareness on importance of shared responsibilities comes here in this point, supporting work-life balance, because I think the more we realize that we raise family together. Traditionally, we have seen that men, still I've seen families where men do not go in kitchen, they don't want to wash utensils or help the women, and other family members also keep on expecting this from the women of the house. This could be your sister, it could be your mother or your wife. Even if they're working, it is expected that they will take care of it. Things are changing, and if I also belong to a way forward family, personally I have not seen it. There are few things that I would have in my life story, you would have in yours. If you have women, ask them considerately. Even if you feel that we have done our best and our wives are empowered, you please go do a background check and ask her, is she really feeling empowered, or does she feel the guilt, or does she feel taunted, does she feel offended at times? It must be there, trust me. Okay, and in supporting work-life balance can also happen by creating initiatives where societal expectations around women's role as caregiver is shown as changing. We have to have such initiatives where we are showing her more than as a caregiver. Okay. And as a family, I think the men and other people also at home must support. Or it doesn't mean that you take care of her kids, you cook for her. What I really mean here is you create a system for her where she doesn't feel guilty about her children's education or ignoring them. You have to create that system. And then comes encouraging meal allies, which is coming from the same point, work-life balance. I think we need to emphasize the role of men in challenging stereotypes and promoting gender equality. And this cannot happen without men. Okay. We need to create initiatives which encourage men. And there is, I think in government jobs, you see now even there is paternity leave, but this is just, it's like a drop in the ocean. It may help, it may not help, but if we keep on creating such initiatives, one day will come where we'll feel, okay, we are all working together in this. We are in this together. And trust me, again, I'll repeat it. It starts from home. Look at your own homes. If we can correct where we live, we can correct the world eventually. Okay. Share success stories of collaboration. We see now even mostly men like to support women in their life. It could be their mother or wife. We can share success stories of such families Even I think men should take part and be open. We have always, men's don't share, men's don't. I think this is one agenda where we should all share. We will not shy away and will not say, oh, I don't want to share if I help. And I've seen men, they don't want to tell their friends, yes, that I have helped my wife chop the vegetables or wash utensils. They feel shy. Why not? Why don't you share with your friends and you tell them that yes, it's a good thing? Because there again comes a resistance, and unless we will work on that resistance, we will not be able to make a difference. You have to work on that resistance which tells you that I cannot flaunt this, I cannot share this openly. So it's on men, I think, that part. And then women entrepreneurship, I would like to again highlight, that is also one way of how we can address, how can we, we create this positive change. There should be more initiatives. I know government has taken a lot of initiatives for women entrepreneurs. However, I've worked with banks on women entrepreneurship. I think even with the policies, because of lengthy process, documentation, women don't they don't get the information, or even if they have information, the process is very lengthy. And even if you get through the process, then again comes a lot of nitty-gritties. So ultimately, I know once upon a time, State Bank of India has asked me to give them 15 women who they really wanted to fund. And that fund was from 10 lakhs to 1 crore, not a less. I could not find few women, and they could not find. That's why they came to me. The reason, there's a lot of reason, there's technicality. So we make great initiatives, but we also have to see the impact of those initiatives. You have to see how much those initiatives are really reaching, women for whom we are creating the initiatives. Then come marketing and supporting women-led small businesses for profitability. So there are a lot of women, especially after COVID, we have seen, who have started work from home, started small businesses. However, how profitable they are, they become like a hobby after a while. So if you start supporting such businesses, I think those women can do, very well. And the fact that she can also run her family and work together, I think it's very beautiful. So the more and more we support them in marketing, or financially, whatever way we can, through policies or as individuals also, if we buy from them, if we take their services, we slowly we can bring, we push them towards profitability. And some women are doing phenomenally well. And obviously understand the challenges, and what are the challenges these women are really facing. Working on that will also help, and not just in terms of creating policies, but also seeing the impact of those policies and making sure that the purpose of the policy is really met. And lastly, I would like to say, I'm celebrating, I think, more and more role models and success stories of women who have done it will really help. And it's not just on the Women's Day that we celebrate and we say around Women's Day. I think it should be part of, it should be shown in shows and cinemas. And there are movies, but I think how, if you see one movie in 3 months, how much that helps, I don't know. But if you consciously create some shows, you consciously bring in more, and it should be, the audience should not just be women, it should be everybody, and everybody should celebrate her success. That is how I think we can create a huge change, and we can provide our daughters the future that we really want to give them. And that's how you can actually inspire future generations also. When they will see more and more examples, they will feel it's easy, they can also do it. And highlighting such models will make significant contributions, I feel. We are taking a lot of steps, but I think we're still behind. So I would like to end this with a quote. Women, whether subtly or vociferously, have always been a tremendous power in the destiny of the world, says Eleanor Roosevelt. However, it's up to the women. So that line sums all. It is up to the women. I think how strong you become, how you can take stand for yourself is all that matters, and not just for yourself, for your coming generation, and without discriminating between your kids. The more you say firm, yes, I want this and I want to do this, I think that's how we all can do it together. So thank you. Thank you. That was all from my side. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Saraji. Thank you for nicely giving what challenges we all are facing, women is facing in society, and rightly said that we should focus more on the success stories. And our society has to change the mindsets. Unless our mindsets will be changed, I think inspiration can't go. So it is within women, they have to inspire. Self-motivation is very important for each and every woman. So that is there. Thank you for sharing your encouraging perspective. Thank you so much for being part of this. And we are just at the verge of concluding today. Actually, our chief guest, Madam Harjeet Kaur Joshi ji, could not join for this webinar on such a short due to some urgent work. So we are missing her. Definitely, she is a proud CMA who's a role model for this profession, who has already proved her sincerity, perseverance, and focus. That her success has shown that success doesn't have any gender. So for being successful, be it be a man or woman, you need anyone can excel and flourish. You need to have a spirit of leadership and passion for excellence. It is not only for woman or man, it is your personal passion is equally important. Of course, gender equality is important today for a sustainable tomorrow. With these little words, we would like to conclude for the today's webinar. And I would request all women and men to complement each other rather than to compete. It is not a matter of competing. So it is better to complement each other and go forward together. So thank you once again. We conclude with the today's session. We are truly privileged to have our good speakers with us, Saraji and Neetaji. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all my participants who have joined with us. Thank you, all the participants across country. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
एक मिनट मैडम सेक्रेटरी सर
प्लीज
मैं हाँ सेकंड एक मिनट निशा मैडम को बोल
तो डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए ना, आप बता देना सर।
एक सेकंड